What does a millionaire's lifestyle look like to you? Now, hold that thought. Often, the image that springs to mind is a world filled with extravagance. You might imagine sleek luxury sports cars parked in front of sprawling mansions. Inside, high-end designer clothes fill the walk-in closets, the vacation photos. They're probably from an exotic, far-flung corner of the globe, where champagne flows like water. It's a tantalizing vision, isn't it? This world of opulence and grandeur. It's what we're led to believe is the life of a millionaire. We see it splashed across glossy magazine pages, on our television screens, and in the glitzy world of social media. This portrayal of wealth is pervasive, influencing our perceptions and expectations of what it means to be a millionaire. But are these ideas of wealth truly representative of all millionaires? Let's take a moment to challenge this notion. And perhaps, along the way, we'll discover a different kind of millionaire. Meet the average millionaire. A phrase that might conjure images of opulent mansions, luxury cars, and a life of indulgence. But let's peel away the layers of this stereotype and introduce you to a different kind of millionaire, the average millionaire. Now, what exactly is an average millionaire? It's an individual who, through a combination of disciplined saving, astute investing, and a lifestyle that favors needs over wants, has quietly accumulated a net worth of $1 million or more. These are folks who've built their fortunes not through inheritance or landing high-paying jobs, but through financial prudence and a strong focus on long-term goals. Imagine someone living in a comfortable but not overly lavish home. They drive a reliable car that's a few years old, not the latest luxury model. They're the kind of people who don't find the need to flaunt their wealth, because they understand that true wealth is not about the external trappings, but about financial security and freedom. These average millionaires might be your neighbors, your colleagues, the people you run into at your local grocery store. They've learned to appreciate the value of a dollar and understand that every cent saved or invested is a step closer to financial independence. They are the embodiment of the phrase, "live below your means." They're not misers, but they're mindful about where their money goes. They prioritize investments that yield long-term returns over momentary pleasures. They have a budget and they stick to it, not because they have to, but because they choose to. Theirs is a story of quiet resilience, of steady growth, and of the triumph of financial discipline over instant gratification. Their wealth is not defined by the size of their homes or the brand of their cars, but by the peace of mind that comes from knowing they've secured their future and that of their loved ones. Surprised? Let's delve deeper into the lives of these average millionaires. Because understanding their journey might just change the way you think about wealth and inspire you to start your journey towards financial success. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. We've talked about the concept of the average millionaire, but what does that look like in practice? Well, meet Sarah, a software engineer from Seattle. She's a millionaire, but she's not living in a sprawling mansion or driving a luxury car. Instead, she's chosen to live in a modest home and drives a reliable, fuel-efficient vehicle. She's been investing a substantial portion of her income into low-cost index funds for the past 15 years. By living below her means and focusing on her long-term financial goals, Sarah has amassed a net worth of over $1 million. Then there's Tim, a school teacher from Texas. He's been teaching for 20 years and has also accumulated a net worth of over $1 million. How did he do it? Well, Tim has always been a saver. He's consistently put away a portion of his salary into his retirement accounts. He's also made some smart real estate investments that have paid off over the years. And let's not forget about Lisa, a small business owner from Los Angeles. She's built her wealth through her business and smart investing. Lisa has always prioritized her financial goals over short-term pleasures. She drives a second-hand car and lives in a comfortable, but not extravagant, home. She's consistently reinvested her business earnings back into her company and diversified her investments to grow her wealth. These are just a few examples of average millionaires. They're not celebrities or lottery winners. They're everyday people like you and me who've achieved financial success through discipline, smart saving, and calculated investments. They've chosen to live below their means, focusing on their long-term financial goals rather than indulging in the flashy lifestyle often associated with millionaires. You won't see them on the cover of a magazine or flaunting their wealth on social media. But they're out there, quietly building their wealth and living comfortable, financially secure lives. As you can see, the reality of millionaires is often far from the stereotype. The millionaire mansion is more myth than reality. It's a statement that may rattle your perception, but it's true. The stereotype of the millionaire living in an extravagant mansion, driving the trendiest luxury cars, and wearing designer labels from head to toe is largely a creation of popular culture. It's a narrative that has been woven into our society by the media, movies, and reality TV shows, painting a picture that is more fiction than fact. The reality is that most millionaires are not living in sprawling estates, but in average homes in ordinary neighborhoods. They don't flaunt their wealth in ostentatious ways. They are the average millionaires, living below their means and focusing on building their wealth through smart saving and calculated investments. This disconnect between the stereotype and the reality can lead to unrealistic expectations and financial decisions. Many people, influenced by this false image, might spend beyond their means to mimic a lifestyle that isn't reflective of most millionaires. They indulge in conspicuous consumption, believing that to be wealthy, one must appear wealthy. This misconception can lead to financial instability and prevent wealth accumulation. The truth is, real wealth is often invisible. It's not necessarily displayed in the form of flashy cars or designer outfits. Rather, it lies in the value of investments, the balance of savings accounts, and the ownership of assets. It's in the financial freedom to make choices, the ability to weather financial storms, and the peace of mind knowing that your future is secure. So, let's debunk the myth. Let's shatter the stereotype. Wealth isn't about the outward display of money, it's about financial stability, wise investments, and living within your means. It's about building a strong financial foundation that can withstand the test of time. It's about creating a legacy that goes beyond material possessions. In the end, remember, real wealth is not always visible. It's often hidden behind the scenes, quietly growing and accumulating, away from the glitz and glamour that society often associates with wealth. It's the secret of the average millionaire. So, how can you become one of these average millionaires? Well, let's start with the basics. First and foremost, you need to create a budget. This isn't just about writing down your income and expenses, but about gaining a clear understanding of where your money goes each month. It's about identifying the necessary from the unnecessary and making conscious decisions about what to cut back on. Once your budget is in place, it's time to track your expenses. Yes, every single one of them. From that fancy coffee you love to your monthly gym membership. It might seem tedious, but trust me, it's worth it. You'll quickly see patterns and areas where you can reduce spending. And remember, every penny saved is a penny earned. Next, you need to calculate your net worth. This is the total value of what you own minus what you owe. It's a snapshot of your financial health and a benchmark for your future goals. Now let's talk about investing. It's not just for the high rollers on Wall Street, it's for everyone. Start small if you need to. The point is to start. Look into low-cost index funds, or consider real estate if that's your thing. The key is to diversify and focus on long-term growth. And speaking of long-term, let's address one of the most crucial aspects of wealth accumulation: patience. Wealth isn't built overnight. It's the result of consistent saving, smart investing, and time. Lastly, don't forget about discipline. It's easy to get caught up in the latest trends or succumb to the temptation of instant gratification. Resist. Stick to your budget, invest wisely, and keep your eye on the prize, financial independence. So there you have it. Simple steps to get you on the path towards becoming an average millionaire. It's not about the flashy cars or the luxury mansions. It's about living within your means, making smart financial decisions, and focusing on the long game. Remember, wealth is not about what you spend, but what you save and invest. So, what does a millionaire's lifestyle look like to you now? As we've journeyed through this exploration, we've seen that the stereotype of the flashy millionaire is often just that, a stereotype. The reality is much more grounded, much more relatable. You see, average millionaires, the silent majority, are all around us. They're not defined by ostentatious displays of wealth, but by smart saving, living below their means, and focusing on long-term goals. They built their wealth not on a foundation of extravagance, but on the bedrock of discipline and calculated decisions. It's a narrative that's much less glamorous, but infinitely more achievable. So perhaps it's time we reconsider our perceptions of wealth, of millionaires. Perhaps it's time we recognize that the path to wealth doesn't necessarily lie in the mansion on the hill, but in the discipline of the mind. The key to wealth is not in the display, but in the discipline.